Okay, so I recorded this previously, and then I checked on it. I'm like, I wonder if I can hear my voice. But then I realized my fan was a little bit too loud for even me. Like, oh my god, that's distracting. I forget how loud that fan can be. So, turn it off now. I'm gonna try to get this done as quickly as possible because it's getting hot. Um, but anyways, that being said, before we get started with the actual story, if you are not comfortable with description of child abuse, bullying, suicide betting, SA, and R of a minor, please proceed with caution or skip to the next video. That would be all for now. This is Kit by Avvi88, Chapter 16. Shota sat on the couch with Izuku in the middle, and Hisashi on the right side of Izuku. Detective Sakachi was sitting in the chair on the other side of them, papers ready to take notes on Izuku's background. Kega wanted to be there, but because he was on but because he had patrol, he didn't have time. Okay, Izuku, do you want me to ask questions or do you want to talk about everything? And if I ask any questions, I will ask when you're done. Detective Tsukachi asked, giving his voice calm and his voice calm for his clear distressed kid. I would like to talk about everything, and then you can ask questions, Izuku said, fidgeting with the stress ball Hisashi gave him before the meeting. Okay, if you ever need, if you need time, if you need to stop at any time, just say it, and we will take a break. Izuku nodded, taking a deep breath before starting his explanation. Even Shota and Hisashi hadn't got the full story yet, knowing they only gotten a piece of the whole truth. It started when I was 3. It started when I was 3. My father was never the best man, being a drunk and having an abusive relationship with my mother. My father never touched me and always talked about how great I was going to become one day with a quirk like his. Fire breathing was a destructive quirk, not something I ever wanted. Learning that when I turned 4 and was diagnosed as quirkless, me being quirkless brought the worst out of my father. He beat me and kicked me. He beat me, kicked me, burned me, and starved me for the next week. Me, being a clueless 4-year-old I was, thought everything he was saying he said about me being worthless and a waste of everything was true. He left me and my mother after a week of beating. My mother turned on me after that, blaming me for him leaving. School wasn't exactly any better. When everyone found out I was quirkless, they turned on me pretty quickly. I wanted to say this because it's really important to the story. Kachan is not as bad as he sounds, as I explained. So hear me out. Everyone in the room nodded. And Shota really didn't like the sound of that. Good. My teachers began telling me how worthless I was. Every time someone did something to me, like push me to the ground or kick me, the teachers blamed it blamed blamed it on me. It was it has been like that since the day I came back and I was known as quirkless. Coach Adam has always been hot headed, and he always wanted to be approved by others. His Coach Adam's mom never really saw anything great he did, only seeing the perfect little Izuku, always helping out at home. When Kachan got his quirk and I didn't, he turned on me too, and I didn't know it was and and I know it wasn't because he hated me specifically, but because he finally got approval from those around him. It was it was pretty bad over the years. When they started using their quirks on me, when they started using their quirks with everything. It was the time I came back with my first visible scar. My mother brushed me off, and I was pushed too hard. She stabbed me with a knife in my thigh. I was only 8 years old, and I was stabbed by my mother because I was hurt and wanted comfort. Spider Lily's insults and beating became weekly. It was when my old teacher stated if I didn't get my grades up, he would fail me, and never and I would never get into UA. I knew he drew my grades down, but I couldn't go to the principal. He was in on it. He told me if I wanted to get my grades up, wanted to get my grades better, if he told me he would make my grades better if I helped him. At first, I didn't understand what he meant, but when he pushed me onto my knees and shoved himself down my throat, I didn't know what to do anymore. The next few weeks went by like that. Every Friday, I would stay behind and pleasure him. It was after 2 months of that, he finally snapped and ordered me. He didn't, I didn't understand until I got to UA and what happened what happened to me. I only thought it happened to girls in that way, but I was clearly wrong. Both Izuku and Hisashi had tears streaming down their faces. Izuku Izuku sobbed quietly. Shota wrapped his arms around both of them, seething with anger. It was 10 months before the entrance exam, and when the worst day of my life happened. The glory Kachan had gotten through the years supporting for the support of his bullying, and no one telling him what he was in the wrong and had gotten to his head. Only my teacher my teacher told the whole class I wanted to get into UA, and Kachan snapped and told me to kill myself, and I hoped for a quirk in my next life. I would never, of course, even though my life was shit, and I really wished I would said sometimes. But I still wanted to be a hero and help those like me. On my way home from on my way home from school, I met the such villain. All Might saved me, signed my notebook, and was about to fly away. He didn't notice the rope around our legs, and I was brought with him. After after yelling at me how irresponsible I was, I asked him if someone quirkless like me could be a hero like him. He told me he told me no, and I got him down from the roof eventually, as you guys know. I saved Kachan from the sludge villain and that escaped earlier. All Might found me. All Might found me after that and said I could be I could be I could become a hero just with his quirk. I cleaned the beach for the next 10 months, getting the quirk. Izuku had silent tears streaming down his face, an empty look in his eyes. Shota hated that look, and didn't and would do anything to get his son back from the hole he had dug into. After a few moments of silence, Detective Sakachi spoke up. Everything was true. We will start an investigation on Idira and Inko Midoriya. Eraserhead, Mike, I assume you will get your emergency license to use. Shota had Shota and Hizashi nodded their heads, and Shota could feel Izuku sighing in relief against his chest. Okay, Izuku, I only have one question before we're done here, okay? Izuku nodded his head, clearly exhausted from his earlier explanation. Okay, have you ever tried to go to police or maybe get a hero to help? Yes, I tried to go to the police, but when quirklets left my mouth, they just told me to stop lying and trying to get attention. Izuku sniffled, looking down at the stress ball in his hand. Detective Sakachi nodded, taking a few notes before taking his leave. Shota spoke up before they left the couch. I hope you know we can't just let this thing with Bakugo go, right? Please don't expel Kachan. He has gotten better since he got into UA. I see that. I see what I can do, but something has to be done. Shota ruffled his hair before standing and stretching. Today was filled with much needed Izuku cuddles. When Keiko got back from his patrol, he attacked his kit with tickles and raspberries, making Izuku giggle brightly, and trying to wiggle out of the young hero's hold. Even despite the long conversation with Detective Sakachi at the start of the day, Izuku was back to his giggly self at dinner, running around with his unofficial brother. Even though even though they still had a long way to go, Shota could see Izuku getting happier by the day. Um, okay, and stretch for a minute. Um, that that was a very exciting thing. And after I recorded this the second time, this is my second time recording this because the first time was because of my fan. Um, what was it? I it took me about eight like 17 minutes to record this the first time. And I was like, oh my god, I recorded this much shorter than the first time. But anyways. Um, I will most likely only be posting once or twice this week. Um, someone in my family is getting surgery, a dental surgery, not big, not too bad. I'm just getting their wisdom teeth pulled out. Um, so they'll be home, and I don't feel comfortable recording around them. So with that, um, once or twice this week. Next week, I will try record every day. And then the week after that, I will probably only record 2 times, 2 or 3 times. Because on that Thursday, if I'm remembering this right, we start school that Thursday. Okay, I know this is like probably just me. Let me know in the comments if it's just me. But why would they start school on a Thursday when they can start school on a Monday? I asked someone this, and they said, like, I asked someone in my family this, and they said, "Oh, it's so you can get used to your schedule." I was like, in my mind, I'm like, I can get used to my schedule on a full week. It don't take me that long. Like, I don't get why they start school towards the end of the week. Because it was just going to be on a Friday until I corrected my mom. I'm like, yeah, no, they changed things. And I heard from a teacher, she said she thinks. So, like, this was a educational guess that it might have started on the 8th of August. But anyways, I hope y'all have an amazing day. Eat, drink, and stay hydrated. You don't have to drink anything, just it's hot. Okay, bye. Thank y'all for listening.